Greetings, fellow Arrow fans. We're looking at Arrow Season 4, now get on with the episode Canary Call. Or Canary Cry, Canary Cry, sorry. The episode opens at a funeral where Oliver is welcome to convey the commendation yet can't be there. Rather, Laurel rises up to say a couple of words. The burial service, which occurred in May of 2013, was for Tommy Merlin. In her eulogy, Laurel expresses Tommy's strength of character while Oliver observes from afar. At that point, Laurel assures the attendees that Oliver believes the same as he leaves. In the current day, Lance Nomi strolls through the different individuals from Team Arrow in the hospital hallway and steps into Laurel's room, where she lies dead. He cries, and Laurel's primary care physician, Dr. Schwartz, hands the Black Canary's items to Oliver. Oliver can barely talk and walks away from the room. At the Arrow Cave, Oliver and Dougal talk about Andy's betrayal. Dougal feels overwhelmed with guilt, believing if he had listened to Oliver as opposed to confiding in his brother, Laurel would still be alive. On Channel 52, Alex Davis declares that ADA Laurel Lance died in a riot at Ironhead's prison, and her assumed killer, Damien Dark, is still on the loose. An arms deal is going on in a deserted alley. Suddenly, a woman dressed like Black Canary uses her sonic scream to incapacitate the men before stealing back weapons from an open vehicle truck and running off. At the bunker, Felicity, Thea, and Dougal appear when Oliver calls her Team Arrow. Lance shows up not long after with a newspaper saying that Black Canary attacked a gun ring in the previous evening. He's frantic to believe that Laurel is still alive. The team attempts to debilitate this, but can't think of another explanation, especially to find that the Canary Cry is missing from Laurel's belongings. Oliver brings Lance to the hospital to prove that Laurel's body is still in the morgue, discouraging him. Lance runs out, but Oliver says his closest assurance that he thinks someone took the Canary Cry from Laurel's possessions. Schwartz admits that there's an ER patient who may be a decent suspect, but you can't reveal to him who it is because of doctor-patient confidentiality. In a flashback, Oliver goes to Laurel's apartment to see her after Tommy's funeral. Oliver admitted that he remained up the entire night chipping away at a eulogy. It couldn't be moved beyond the possibility that he failed Tommy. Laurel assures Oliver that he can't blame himself for what happened to Tommy, but Oliver replies she would accuse him as well, in the event that she knew the truth. Oliver then walks up and asks what he means. At the bunker, Felicity is attempting to follow the new Canary through facial recognition, though Dougal is occupied. Dougal admits to Felicity that Andy was working with Dark and he feels answerable for what occurred. Alex and Thea are out on a date, attempting to divert Thea from everything that is going on. She asks him for what good reason he turned to politics. Before Alex can reply, the Black Canary imposter arrives at the restaurant and assaults him. She's about to shoot Alex, but Thea stops her and briefly removes her mask. Thea realizes the girl isn't Laurel before being knocked back by the Canary Cry. The girl then tries to run, but Thea calls Oliver in. At the point when Oliver confronts the girl, she attacks him multiple times with Canary Cry, yelling that he failed this city, and when he left them Reddington to die. The girl then flees. Since this girl had keyed the Canary Cry to Laurel's voice, it should be working for this young woman, yet by one or another it is, at much higher decibels. Oliver's Reddington Industrials where a hive held Team Arrow hostage over Christmas and believes this girl was one of their prisoners. Once he learns the present girl is Evelyn Sharp, a promising teen genius and gymnast who was reported missing, along with her family before Christmas. The girl's mother and father were killed by Hive's gas chambers that night, and Evelyn blames Green Arrow for not trying to save them. At his home, Lance is brought in Nessa with expectations of utilizing Lazarus pit to resurrect Laurel. Nessa Sailor reveals that she had destroyed the pit months prior and Quentin leaves, distressed. In Oliver's former campaign office, Felicity comes to find him alone, pondering over everything that has happened. Felicity admits she blames herself for Laurel's death as well, due to not being with the team at the time of her murder. Oliver reveals to her that the real reason he blames himself for tragedies is that it gives him a reason behind them. Thea then calls Felicity to reveal that Lila called, searching for Dougal. As Spartan, Dougal stops Ruby Adams' limousine by shooting the drivers and hauls her out. When Ruby tries taunting him, he pistol whips and prepares to shoot her. However, Oliver intervenes and shoots the gun out of Dougal's hands, allowing Ruby to escape. Oliver warns Dougal that he can't assault the mayor of Star City without evidence of her crimes. Dougal angrily declares he needs to find Andy and get him off the streets before he hurts anyone else. Oliver reminds Dougal that Laurel wanted him to be better than this. On TV, Ruby accuses Team Arrow of murdering Laurel, claiming that Black Canary assaulted her chief of staff, Alex, and afterward, Sprite assaulted her vehicle earlier that evening. She has requested the district attorney to issue arrest warrants for Team Arrow, beginning with Black Canary. Oliver realizes that Evelyn is Ruve's main target and Team Arrow needs to find her before the police do. Nissa calls Oliver about Lance, worrying he's in denial. Oliver confides to Nissa that he's struggling with Laurel's legacy being tainted and doesn't know how to help. In a flashback, Oliver and Laurel are in her apartment looking at old pictures of them and Tommy. Laurel remembers what Oliver said before about needing to make the seat a better place and recommends they could do it together. The two kiss, and Laurel admits she's excited for the future, yet Oliver is conflicted. At a former League of Assassins safe house, Oliver shows up to intercept Lance, who is searching for leaked individuals to assist him with bringing Laurel back. Oliver implores Lance to accept Laurel's death, stating they both lost her and if there was any way to bring her back, he would, but there isn't. Lance breaks down and reveals that Laurel was his rock, the person who helped him through losing Sarah, his divorce, and alcoholism, everything. Lance can't imagine being without her. At the bunker, Felicity apologizes to Diggle for not trying to stop him from blaming himself for Laurel's death, admitting that listening to him prevented her from continuing to blame herself. The two talk through their feelings, begin to accept that what happened wasn't directly their fault. At that point, Felicity gets a facial recognition hit on Evelyn. She's planning to aggravate a gallop for the Women's Advocacy Association at Star City Plaza Hotel. At the hotel, Team Arrow searches for Evelyn. She's caught by a security guard but uses the Canary Cry to knock him out, alerting her presence to Ruve's security detail. Ruve wants to stay at the gala, knowing Evelyn's attack will fuel her agenda. Evelyn shoots a couple more guards on her way to the hotel's ballroom when Oliver stops her. He understands that Evelyn wants revenge for her parents' death, but this isn't the best approach to justice. Evelyn implies it's the only way she has left before using the Canary Cry to corner Ruve at gunpoint. However, Oliver reminds Evelyn how she was inspired by the real Black Canary and asks what she would think of her actions. Evelyn eventually drops the gun, sparing Ruve. As Evelyn escapes, Ruve sends a SWAT team after Oliver, who shoots an arrow through the ceiling and escapes through a bay window. Back at the bunker, the assumption says that Evelyn has tarnished the Black Canary's name. However, Oliver is certain that won't occur. Later, at the cemetery, Daniel Lance is still in denial over Laurel's death, certain that she's going to return to them like Sarah did. Oliver conveys Laurel's eulogy. For the span of his speech, with Evelyn looking on from a distance, Oliver tells the attendees that Laurel was the Black Canary, which is why she was killed, and that if Laurel was here, she would want them to save their city. In the last flashback, Laurel is in her apartment when she finds a note passed under her door. It's from Oliver, who reveals that he has left the city to return to Lian to deal with Tommy's death. He might return one day, but urges Laurel to continue helping the city without him. Oliver leaves Laurel the photograph of her he kept with him on the island. Afterwards, at Laurel's grave, Oliver remains alone before a tombstone when Barry Allen shows up after dealing with Zoom. Oliver reveals to Barry he only blames Dark and is going to kill him. Oliver requests to be left alone, after which he cries. On Laurel's tombstone is engraved, the Black Canary. In the limo, a tearful Felicity tells Oliver that they need to take down Dark. Oliver says he knows, but doesn't have the faintest idea how. Oliver admits that he's seen Dark's idol previously on Lian, and it's not just magic, it's darkness, which corrupts his soul, and he's always been able to defeat it. Felicity will accept that Dark is invincible, or Laurel will have died in vain. Yeah. Oof. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. This episode introduces Evelyn Sharp, who becomes the vigilante Artemis in Season 5 until her betrayal. When Ruby Adams orders the Green Arrow to be arrested, Oliver states he's seen this movie before, and escapes by shooting his grappling hook through a glass dome ceiling. This is a reference to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Robin Hood used the same tactic to escape the Sheriff of Nottingham. During Laurel's funeral, when the priest invites Oliver to talk, the tombstone behind him says M. Clayton. This is possibly a reference to William Clayton being one of the candidates for dying this season. In the final flashback, Laurel's last appearance in which she is alive, she is wearing the same clothes she wore in her very first appearance in the pilot. Barry Allen is depicted with a speed in this episode, meaning it takes place before versus Zoom, where Barry gave his speech to Zoom. This is the last episode of Arrow to feature Katie Cassidy as a series regular until Season 6. So yeah, this is really kind of a bummer of an episode, but yeah, of course. To be honest though, I really don't trust that Evelyn Sharp person, so yeah. So what will I give Canary Cry 5 arrowheads out of 5. But anyway, tune in bed so we see next episode, Genesis. So until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.